Grace is such a beautiful word that evokes a felt sense of inspiration and mercy and blessing. But what exactly is grace, and why is it the practical key to your awakening process? Well, grace really refers to the direct experience of the divine presence coming alive in your experience. And this connects you to the source of real love, peace, strength, clarity, and joy, all of your essential qualities. And when that happens, you recognize that these qualities are naturally part of who and what you really are and always have been. And of course, in that experience, we feel very fulfilled because life is meaningful and we're connected. And we've returned to right relationship to life itself. What few people know, though, is that grace has 4 dimensions or ways that it comes alive to help us live meaningfully and fulfill our higher spiritual potential. Grace is the ground of our being, the ground of all being. And it's something that we recognize. We turn our attention to recognize what we're within and part of, what's been powering everything all this time. So when we recognize the ground of grace, we have a foundation all of a sudden to be able to relax our strategies of control, to let our anxieties give way into. There's a true foundation, finally. So grace is also the blessings that come, the love, the gifts that come into our life, the guidance that shows us the way, shepherds us from harm, that dimension of love that helps us to feel nourished and to heal and to thrive, and also guides us in the true way forward in our lives. But grace is also the power that transforms our suffering into wisdom. It's the spiritual power that dances with our sincere effort in our practices, that helps us to go somewhere new, to change where we're coming from inside, and to open to deeper dimensions and possibilities spiritually. And all of this is to support you and I becoming more graceful human beings. So ultimately, grace is something we learn to embody. We can become more graceful, wiser, more responsive, more capable of being present and responsive even in chaotic and unpredictable circumstances like what we're finding ourselves in these days. So the good news is that grace in all of these dimensions is more available than you might think, and it's also very practical. So how do we access it? How do we become more receptive? Well, firstly, we have to question that presumption that we really are separate somebodies. We really are the ones who are doing everything, who are making it all happen. Of course, that is your ego, and it's the fundamental misunderstanding. In that fundamental misunderstanding, we've really forgotten the deeper truth of things. So we need to remember that just like an individual wave that arises out of the ocean actually is the ocean, arising uniquely, and it's powered by the ocean, and it falls back into the ocean, and it's an extension of the ocean, so too are you and I. So as you return your awareness to that deeper reality, just by dropping into it right now, just by remembering that you're here because of something so much deeper, you can be returned to your original default factory setting of natural great peace and loving awareness. So friends, let's take a moment right now. Just take a breath. And on the exhale, just feel as if whatever you think should or shouldn't be happening can just begin to melt away into the past. And so just as you would normally go outside, and it's effortless to just receive the light of the sun, let it pour its warmth down upon you, and that this isn't something you have to earn or deserve or become worthy of. It's just what's so. What if you can just consider the possibility that right now you are sitting within a deeper ground, a ground that is infinite intelligence and power and love, that births all of nature, births you and I and everything and everyone. And that simultaneously you are also receiving a shower of grace, as if the very molecules of the light aren't just physical, but spiritual too. As if all the enlightened beings from all the great traditions, all the sages, all the bodhisattvas, all the celestial realms, were just showering love and blessing and healing and help upon you. And that's just falling like healing rain to nourish and cleanse and restore your being, to fill you from within and remind you that every second of life is really a gift, whatever's happening. So what if you let that in as you breathe? Just receive it as if saying yes, and as if every exhale you're just saying thank you. Yes, and thank you. Yes, and thank you. You're receiving and you're recognizing the fact of the divine force you are always within, that's always here for you, for all of us, right now.